Genuine question. What's most important to you in times of crisis? The Marvel Universe. Vast, complex, and fun. Villains abound in the world of Marvel, seeking to cause certain doom. But, for every villain, a hero rises up to oppose them. Without these many heroes, the Avengers, the Fantastic Four, the X-Men, the Defenders, the New Warriors, the New Mutants, the New Teen Titans, the West Coast Avengers, the Savage Avengers, the Future Foundation, He-Man, and ForceWorks. We remember ForceWorks here. And of course that's not to mention all the individual heroes I don't feel like mentioning because I just listed all those fucking teams, but I digress. Without our many Marvel heroes, the universe would be in peril. And in another time, in another universe, it is. In this universe, a deadly attack has been conducted across the Earth by this guy, Chronos, with an army at his command. It's looking pretty shitty. Most of Earth's prime defenders have fallen. The Fantastic Four, most of the X-Men, Thor himself, all wiped out by Chronos and his forces. Of course, some of the best heroes still remain, but the number is dwindling rapidly. Chronos has detailed info on the powers and personal lives of the heroes, and he uses this info to hunt down the ones still alive. But look! Dodging the fire of the deadly laser blasts, Peter Parker carries Mary Jane to safety. After making sure to drop his wife off in the safe location, the hero suits up to become the Amazing Spider-Man. One of the best chances we have left. Spider-Man swings into action. Shit. I mean, really? If Iron Man, Captain America, even Spider-Man are gone, then what chance do we fucking have? What do you know? There! Bounding through the rain of lasers, Speedball, the masked Marvel, maneuvers to safety, successfully avoiding the same bitter fate that befell his many comrades. It would appear that the reason he is still alive is because he was one of the obscure ones that they missed. They didn't even know who he was. This element of surprise may be the one thing that can save the Earth. The only thing to do is find the other ones, the second rates, the B tiers, because they're the only chance remaining. We can't call on the X-Men or the Fantastic Four, but we can call on
the League of Losers!
Shut the fuck up! Shut up! Shut the fuck up! I advertise that the transfiguration rate at which the prime, real, tangible results appear, notwithstanding the time it takes to gather the necessary components, you won't believe what you see next, parenthesis 4K HD trailer, 2019, parenthesis.
Quiet, you fool!
Alright, I'm not calling them this name. It's a fucking lie, for one, and they never actually do call themselves that. It's an editorial name used throughout the storyline, and I will agree that it does roll off the tongue very well, but no, I'm calling them the Avengers, and I have some valid reasons for doing so. They are the mightiest heroes left on Earth, and they are going to avenge those who have been lost in this catastrophic battle. So, with that out of the way, let's check out the lineup. Well, let's start with the masked Marvel himself, Speedball. Robbie Baldwin was working at his after-school part-time job when he got exposed to energies from another dimension. And so, whenever Robbie gets hit by anything too hard, he transforms into the masked Marvel. Before it gets too confusing, I'll make note of the fact that it is just as valid to call him the masked Marvel. The original comic calls him that more than Speedball and even resorts to shortening it to MM instead of Speedball when talking about him. Anyhow, Speedball, upon being hit, will bounce off of whatever he comes into contact with, just like a ball. In addition, the energies create his costume for him and modify his voice. Those powers aren't as fun as they seem, though. They make it kind of hard for the guy to live an average life. Like, a little harder than Peter Parker, if I had to say. Anything, like even the most sensitive bumps, have a chance to trigger his Speedball effect. This is pretty useful on paper, because all he has to do is slap his hand against a wall or something to power up. But it also means he has to fucking bitch out of anything physical, lest he risk revealing his identity. It sucks ass, dude. No sports, he has to back away from his rowdy schoolmates, and of course he has to fucking slink off and get called a coward because they don't know he's a hero. And his parents are constantly fighting about superheroes, so he has a lot on his plate. Respect for Speedball, man. Up next, Cloak and Dagger. Ty Johnson and Tandy Bowen were two runaways who each had their own reasons for doing so, but became best friends and ran together. They were kidnapped by some evil science dude who used an experimental drug on them, which gave them incredible powers. Ty became Cloak, a being who can call upon the power of a darkness dimension within his cloak. He can enter it to teleport, but he can also swallow people up. People trapped within Cloak's Dark Force dimension experience a chilling cold, and are exposed to their greatest fears and nightmares. He can also just keep people in there forever if he wants, driving them insane as they are trapped within their own hell, basically. Cloak is also stricken with a hunger for light, which he can absorb from the enemies he captures, and other scary stories to tell him that I already used that one. Tandy became Dagger, who can emit a bright light called the Light Force. She can create knives with this light, she can toss them around, but can also cure people's addiction to certain drugs with this light, and other cool stuff. Dagger can use her light to satiate Cloak's hunger, so the two remain together, fighting against drugs on the streets so no one will have to suffer the same as they do. Also, apparently they're not mutants, the drug gave them those powers. And Cloak is also gone in the story, but you should know about both anyway. Let's move over to Terror, Inc., also known as Shrek. Yes, I know, yes, I fucking know. Alright, now this guy has a history a little complicated. He started in a completely different universe. Now this first bit is just me parroting info I took from a random Marvel wiki. Okay, parroting more than I already do. I promise you I actually have read some issues of this, but like I said, he started elsewhere in a separate comic series as a random character. If I get something wrong, I don't really give a shit because small details always get changed anyway in adaptations and abridgings. Okay, no, this is not an adaptation or abridging. Well, it kind of is, but at the same time, even if it wasn't, what the fuck do you care? What business is it to you of my hypocrisy and how I choose to use it? It's nothing to you, you fucking nothing. You shut the fuck up about integrity, especially you, Lamar, with the shit you pulled 2 years ago at the Summit bragging Logan Bart McCullis. The name should ring a bell. Do you know the trauma he— Oh my god, shut the fuck up. I can hear you from the end of the episode. Oh. Well, sorry, but that's not very nice. Yeah, you're right. I'm sorry. I wish I didn't say that to myself. Well, wait, if we both just apologize, won't you remember this in the later? How many more seconds until this joke is too long for the people that want the comic story again? I think at this point, it's just kind of been long enough that the people probably already left, so it seems kind of half-assed to back out now. Alright, well, if you just try not to forget this whole exchange, then this scene will never play out and we avoid the whole tedious thing. Just don't forget. Don't forget what? Huh? I don't remember. Probably get back to the show. Thanks! I almost forgot. Anyway, a really long time ago, an evil green demon bear existed, and he attacked a tribe of people. The people fought back against the demon, and eventually, one of the warriors of the tribe was victorious. But his win came at a price. The warrior was cursed to take on the traits of the demon. Gaining green skin and these spike whisker things, he also gained its abilities. This being would come to call himself Shrek. Fast forward hundreds of years in history, night stuff, magic, wizards probably, until we get to the St. George comics, where Shrek appears as a gun for hire. After the St. George comic, Shrek, somehow, and I don't know how, made his way to the main Marvel universe, and became a mainstay, setting himself up again as a merc who does dirty and supernatural jobs, changing his name to Terror Inc. Well, old Shrek here can, if he loses any body parts, replace them with new ones. How does he get these new ones? Unknown means, take a guess. These new parts not only allow him to continue the battle, he can also draw from the memories and experiences and even abilities the previous person had with the part. Terror grafts the arm of a car guy on. Now he knows how to hotwire the car just right. Grafting the leg of a runner allows him to get a leg up on his opposition. This can be detrimental sometimes even, as it causes Terror to feel emotions and desires of the previous owner. He has to shake it off and try to move on. Other than that, he's kind of funny on his own. Man, what an appropriate name for a comic. The way it's drawn is pretty spooky. The art gives me this weird primal vibe that makes me feel like a child that shouldn't be looking at this. Of course, it's not the worst I've seen, and it's pretty cool to have eerie shit like this from Marvel. Okay, this is an easy one. Gravity. Greg Willis was a normal dude who got sucked up into a weird black hole and got the power to manipulate gravity. Yep, that's pretty much it. Whatever you think he can do with gravity, he probably can. Flight, super strength, yada yada. You know, sure, it might be a bit boring, but the simpler a power, the more versatile it tends to be. Alright, X-23. This is one who has also a more complicated origin like Terror, being a clone/daughter of Wolverine, with all the powers he has. She originally appeared in the cartoon X-Men Evolution, and, like Harley Quinn, was popular enough to make her way over into the comics. In the comics, she's first shown as a clone of Wolverine, trained to be a murderous weapon, and is later revealed to be his daughter. I think. I gotta be honest, X-Men is not a corner of the Marvel Universe I frequent. You know, not that it's bad or anything. I just don't know too much. Oh goody! We have a spider representative to take over after Spidey fucking bit it. Arana, or Anya, or Spider-Girl if you're a fucking normie. Arana is part of a group of people called the Spider Society, where they have powers similar to our guy Spodrain, but with a mystical twist. There's also a lot of lore that isn't easily explained, just like a few other heroes here, but that's alright, because in all honesty, we just need to know how cool they are, and Arana is pretty cool. She has a grappling cord thingy to swung around with, but her main ability is to summon an amazing bio armor that is armor. It's pretty cool, looks kind of like Kamen Rider. Now we move on to a personal favorite of mine, Sleepwalker. Rick Sheridan was just a normal guy until he had a dream where he met a mysterious figure. That figure turned out to be Sleepwalker. Sleepwalker is an extra-dimensional being that comes from a place called the Mindscape. There, it's linked to all the unconscious minds across the universe. Sleepwalkers exist there to ward off any nasty ethereal creatures and prevent them from slipping into a bystander's mindscape. One day, during a battle with a being known as Cobweb, Sleepwalker is stranded within Rick's mind, and now, whenever Rick goes to sleep, Sleepwalker enters the physical world. Sleepwalker can fly, of course, he's got the basic superhero package. His main weapon is his warp beam, warp gaze, you know, an energy wave that he can use to reshape objects and such that he gazes at. He can wrap a lamppost around an enemy to restrain them, for example. But one of the most important vows Sleepwalker takes is to never use this ability on a living human. What happens there? And does Sleepwalker ever get back to the Mindscape? Go read it yourself, you lazy Mary. Gentlemen, I swear to God, I swear I don't know where it all goes, I swear! Please, no, God, no, And now we move on to the big leader, Darkhawk. Chris Powell was just a guy made of normal until one day he found a mysterious amulet that gave him the ability to transform into the incredible Darkhawk. Well, he doesn't really transform, he switches places with a bio-android called a Raptor, and his mind takes control of it. But still, same effect. In addition to enhanced speed, strength, blah blah blah, Darkhawk can also project a Coolio energy beam from his chest. If he takes any bad damage, he can turn back to Chris, and the Darkhawk body will be healed up. This doesn't work the other way around though. If Chris is shot or something, he can turn into Darkhawk just fine. But when he turns back, he's still gonna have to fix that wound. And he has wings and a grappling hook. For this team, Darkhawk is our leader. Our heroes for the moment are split up, but will make their way together soon enough. We move to Luke Cage, who's managed to take down his attackers due to his unbreakable skin. Oh shit! He gets to join a team! Okay, so Luke Cage is... Oh, god damn it. Darkhawk arrives just in time to see the rest of his friends taken out, but manages to escape, just as the Masked Marvel had. Terror originally has no intention of helping the heroes until he takes a hit to the torso, so he's gonna need to get a new one. The mighty heroes manage to band together, but the enemy suddenly stops their attack. Chronos appears, and it looks like he wants to do some old-fashioned charm waddling. Laughing in his asshole dimension, he gloats before Terror takes a shot at his head. This pisses off the big chronological fuck, and he orders his men to wipe out the team. But our mighty Avengers stand together, attempting to clear a path for escape. It proves to be difficult. Terror takes another hit, losing an arm, gravity gets knocked off course, even Chronos enters the battle with a stolen Captain America's shield. Eventually, with great struggle, the heroes manage to escape down a manhole. But the hot water isn't lukewarm yet, as they send a bomb down that bitch. Jumping forward, our heroes managed to barely avoid the explosion, but they all made it, and now the plan... Oh, are you fucking kidding me? What in the fuck? Come on, man!
What the hell?
They even changed the fucking lineup and replaced her with her own fucking arm, dude. What the fuck does this book have against spider people? With heavy hearts, our heroes push on, still determined. Terror decides to take Arana's... takes her arm.
Fuck you! Who's this guy?
Well, ew, but I guess he did need it. But hey, in the fight, Speedball managed to grab Chrono's time machine. The chances have gone from fucked to less fucked, and our heroes travel forward in time with a mission to save their past. They will stop Chronos before he travels back and fucks them up. I know that sounds confusing. Wouldn't the world just be all fucked up still? But no, there's a brimming history here, and I'll explain why later. The Avengers walk through the portal in time and come out to see a world almost 100 years in the future. Welcome to the Holo Dizzy League of Losers story intermission. Please take the time to make your way to the snack bar or purchase gifts at the gift shop. And I will sell your grandfather to the highest bidder until you scream for the joy you will never experience again! Fuck! The team meets a friendly face in the form of Mutant 2099. A long time ago, the government forced the Mutant Registration Act into law to cut down on mutants. Everyone, the X-Men, the Avengers, blah blah blah, banded together to fight this act, and lost. Now, years into this world, Chad Channing, a registered mutant, fights off the villains of the future as well as Sentinels who would hunt down mutants using the power of his telekinesis. The hero of the future takes them to a lab where the Thing awaits. Well, actually, it's Reed Richards' mind inside of a duplicate Thing body. He theorizes that the time machine is actually built by him, and Chronos will try to steal it at a later date. So, the team prepares themselves for the confrontation, getting matching uniforms and beginning to train. Oh, and Terror can use Arana's bioarmor power, so she is here in spirit. The heroes begin to adjust to their time in this new place. A bit of drama and even romance develops. Sleepwalker can't return to Rick's mind? Dagger is still reeling at the loss of Cloak? And tension is rising as the day draws near. Darkhawk proves to be a capable leader, directing the team to work as one to achieve their goals. All will be important in the final battle with Chronos. So what about Chronos? You know, this story is pretty cool, but it feels empty in places. We never really get to see Chronos' motivation for attacking the heroes. I mean, there is a little bit of personality in the beginning. When he takes Captain America's shield, he has some interesting dialogue.
How do I look? You have no idea how excited I am right now. This is 2 childhood dreams out of the way in less than 10 minutes. I've wanted to hold Captain America's shield since I was 6, and I've wanted to kill Captain America since I was 11. This is a good day.
But other than that, we're never really given any backstory on the guy. But finally, he has arrived, and he has no fucking clue who these guys are. Incredulously, he cries out, "Who the hell are you?" Standing side by side, MM answers definitively with, "We're the Avengers." And he's damn right. Ignore what Darkhawk says, they're the Avengers. Yeah, but hey, they could be called Super 3D Noah fuckfarts if you want. They're still ready to fucking thrash Chronos. Dagger hits Chronos with a light attack. Sleepwalker comes in for the assist, but Chronos kicks away Sleepy and punches away Dagger. Then Darkhawk comes in, blasting Chronos, and fights and lasers and bam, pow, biff! The fight looks equal, and the Avengers will need something to give them the edge. Luckily, the fantastic Mr. Thing has a giant laser cannon, and it's set to fucking wumbo. He blasts through Chronos' remaining forces, and the battle is all but won. But ho! Chronos still has the time machine, and he plans to use it to escape. He opens up a portal, and gravity jumps forward, but is quickly repelled by Chronos. He steps into the portal, making his escape, but at the last moment, Darkhawk shoots his grappling hook and manages to destroy the device. The portal closes, closing Chronos' book with a gruesome fate. The Avengers stand victorious, having stopped the villain. And while that's great, they can't go back home. Yeah, see, they never went to the future of their world. They went to an alternate timeline future. Yes, Chronos was stopped, but not in their original world. They only stopped it from happening to another world. In this one, their past selves also exist here, so they have to stay here in the future. And even though no one will ever know of their efforts to save the world, they find solace in the fact that they know. And Chronos? Well, the story isn't perfect. Who was he? And how did he build the army? I think, though, that it doesn't really matter. He was just some guy that fucked shit up and isn't worth remembering. That just means that the Avengers ended up in the right place, in a world that truly needs them. Well, League of Losers. It's not perfect. I mean, the original Chronos is still out there. He won. No, it's not a perfect story, but it is a special one. It has one of the most unique teams in the Marvel multiverse, and it shines a spotlight on heroes not too often shined upon at the time. I mean, I really love the...
Bart McCullis!
Whoa,
the
that's
name
loud.
should
All right,
ring a
give me a
bell!
second.
Do you know the trauma?
Oh my god, shut the fuck up! I can hear you from the end of the episode.